Yes, there will be baseball. After a 99-day lockout, we now have a complete 162-game schedule starting with opening day on April 7th. To celebrate the return of baseball, we want to do a wow promotion, so here we go. The first 50 customers will get the full season of MLB, including the playoffs, for just over $3 per day. How much of a wow is this? MLB through the All-Star break is priced at $7.95, and through the World Series is priced at $1,095. But the first 50 customers can get MLB through the World Series for $6.99. No coupon is needed, and this comes out to just over $3 per day. Once we hit 50 redemptions, the super early bird discount will come down, and the lowest possible price to lock in baseball will no longer be available. So act fast before you get shut out on our biggest price drop ever.
Hey guys, Carmine, Bianco, WagerTalk. This edition of Puck Time. Andrew is on his way to Vegas, so he is away today. So I am taking hold of the steering wheel today, and Bryan Leonard, obviously, on the show in his regular Thursday spot. We're going to talk about 4 games tonight, and we're going to one of the games. I'll have that contest up on Twitter a little later. We're going to the Panthers and Vegas Golden Knights game. I'm excited about watching that one as opposed to those regular Leaf games that I'm stuck watching. Bryan, let's bring you in right away. I had a long night yesterday with Kelly and Brett. You saw all the pictures, guys, on Twitter. We had the limo bus, Ariel, Claudia. There's just a ton of us out having a great time last night. And March Madness is in full swing today. I know you're a basketball guy, and it's a hockey show, but you live here. The atmosphere that goes on in Vegas during that first week of March Madness.
Yeah, and to make it even more crazy, it's the first day of spring training. At least it is for me. I'm excited. I'm a baseball guy. That's my favorite sport. Been doing it for years, so I'm excited for that. So, yeah, when you get as old as us, when you hang out with those young people like you did yesterday, it really wears you out. So I'm hoping you can make it tonight to that game and be able to hang around with some of those younger guys and Andrew and them coming to town. I got to pace myself, man.
Yeah, listen, I'm 3 days into this 12-day Vegas vacation. Let's call it, and I won't lie. I'm having a great betting start. Anyways, NHL. As far as NHL last night, I told everyone on the show my only play for my clients I was giving out for free, which was the Calgary total over 6, and that easily cashed. So I mixed it in with a couple of other plays as well too. I hit all the singles and I hit some doubles and triples as far as parlays go. So it was a good day at the Superbook at Westgate. I'm looking forward to doing the same today because there's a monster slate of NHL games tonight, and we're going to cover 4 of them on the show. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to meeting up with you. Andrew, his 3 friends that are flying in as well. So, and then the WagerTalk family from Detroit is coming in later tonight, 6 or 7 o'clock this evening. I think Vegas time they're arriving. So it's going to be great to meet up with them for the first time. I haven't seen the Detroit crew. You've seen some of them. I haven't seen any of them. So it'll be great seeing them. All right. Right, let's get right to it. Before we hit this first game, I want to let you guys know there won't be a Friday show because Andrew will be here in Vegas. We're going to be out very late tonight, so we are going to skip the Friday show because it would be a little mumbled. But the 6 and 60 segment will still air. So if you're looking for that 6 and 60 segment, I'll tweet it out. WagerTalk will tweet it out. Puck Time will tweet it out. We are still going to do the 6 and 60 because I know you guys kind of look forward to that one and get some Saturday action in. All right, Bryan, let's get right to it. The New York Islanders, the New York Rangers. Let's have a look at the numbers on this one. The Rangers minus 140, the Islanders plus 120. The total here sits at 5.5. So I'm going to go to you first on this, Bri. It's you and me. So give me your thoughts on tonight's game.
Yeah, very similar to yesterday's games where I had a little bit of an opinion, and we won our free play, and unfortunately Boston didn't come in, or we'd have gone 3-0 on the ones I chose. This card's very similar, at least for the games that we're talking about today. I do have 3 plays up for clients on our site, on the site at WagerTalk, and I like those. But the games are going over, the bigger games, not as much opinions. I'm a big believer in expected goals, and we're looking at, the Islanders on the season are down 0.04 expected goals per 60. The Rangers are down 0.32. So the Islanders haven't been very unlucky. The Rangers have been very lucky so far this season, which points me towards the underdog here in the Islanders. The problem is I'm not quite getting the number I want. It opened plus 115, it's plus 120. My goal on this is to get plus 125, and then I'll play the Islanders. And I'm always big on setting the goals and the numbers you want. If you don't do that, you're just playing for fun. You've got to be able to realize what a cent and what a point is worth in whatever sport you're betting. And the Rangers sit in second place in that division, but they've only outscored the opposition by 27. Carolina's up by 59 goals. In fact, Pittsburgh in third place is up 34. Washington's up 29. So from a goals plus minus on the season, the Rangers are the 4th best team in that division. To make them this big of a favorite over the Islanders, I can't understand it. Islanders are having a down season, but from a luck standpoint, they've been very unlucky. From a scheduling standpoint here, I don't see much of an advantage either way. I do know the Rangers just came back from a 4-game road trip, and they go to overtime to beat Anaheim the last game, and that was 2 days ago. Then they go back on another 3-game road trip with Tampa Bay and Carolina on the list. So they're in a little bit tough scheduling spot here, but not going to make a play unless they get 125 on the Islanders. We'll have to sit this one out until then.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to agree with you. I think that you're going to get at some point today, you're going to get that plus 125 and maybe slightly higher on it. I'm pretty sure we're going to see some Rangers money coming in, but and probably rightfully so. But I won't be on the Rangers tonight. I'll tell you that much. I will likely take, and I know that it's the reoccurring theme with me. I will likely take the Rangers. Sorry, the Islanders, and I talk about. They're out of the playoffs, but there's still some value in this team, and they're playing well. They're playing now the way we expected them to play earlier in the season, but they had obviously COVID issues, that long road trip, and this team literally sunk themselves before they had any chance of making the playoffs. But Bryan, they've looked good over the last while. Obviously, picking up points in their last 4 games, 3 wins, an OT loss to the Washington Capitals. The team is competing. So with that in mind, if I can get the plus 125 or plus 130 on the Islanders tonight, I'm likely going to take them. Sorokin is named as the starter for the Islanders tonight. It's unconfirmed yet, but it's going to be Shesterkin in net at home tonight for the Rangers. But still, a low total, 5.5. I think it's a low-scoring game, and the Isles are a live dog. But as you said, you got to give me about 125 or 130 in order to make a play on that one. Thoughts? Yes.
I agree. I can't go wrong with that. Other games on the court on the board today, and hopefully we can get you some more definite selections on these.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's get to the next game. What's a show without talking about the Toronto Maple Leafs, who I don't adore, so I'll keep it at that. They're playing the Carolina Hurricanes in this one. There's no Zamboni drivers in goal tonight. It's going to be Freddie Anderson returning home to face the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's have a look at the numbers. The Leafs minus 105, Carolina minus 115. The total is at 6 in this game. Brian, like I mentioned, it's going to be Calgren in net tonight. They're again their third goalie in this game. Mrazek will back up in goal. Obviously, Campbell is still out with a rib injury. Matthews obviously admit the second game of his 2-game suspension, so he's out tonight. And of course, uh, Jake Muzzin is out with an injury as well too on defense, but he's been out for a while. Listen, I look at this game, Brian, and I'm looking at goals. I'm telling you, this is a game that I will be playing the total on. It'll likely make my card over at WagerTalk. And I see some goals in this one tonight, even with sorry, my apologies here, even with Freddie Anderson in net tonight for Carolina, and he's playing well and returning home to Toronto. This is just a game that I think sets up for a lot of goals in this one. Calgary was in net for a 4-0 win on on Tuesday. That was the Prez's $2 Tuesday play. They beat the Dallas Stars 4-0 in that game. There was opportunities for a bunch more goals in that game, and we didn't see it. I just think the second game for Calgary in goal tonight, and a Carolina team that is they're playing extremely well right now. I think we see some goals. I'm not going to take a side. I think it's a coin flip, and the odds makers have it priced absolutely right. This should be -110 either way. Give me your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, it opened 115 Toronto, and all the money's coming in on Carolina. I'd prefer the Carolina side, but I think we're priced out of it right now. Carolina's a team that's played very well, excellent at home, very good on the road also. They do have a scheduling advantage here as they've had the last 3 days off after losing to Pittsburgh on the road. So you got a team that's used to winning, coming off of a loss, and they've got 3 days to stew about it. And they do go home tomorrow. So this is the first of a back-to-back for Carolina here. They play Washington tomorrow, and that's the first of a 4-game stretch at home. So a little bit of an advantage there. You talked about the total in this game. And I'm in agreement, especially the way that Toronto defense has played. Carolina hasn't been scoring a lot, but they haven't been going against the Toronto goalies and the defense. So I would expect a little bit more. Toronto's off a shutout. Maybe they think they figured it out defensively against Dallas 2 days ago. They win that game 4-0. But you go back to games, the other games they played so far this month. They gave up 5 to Buffalo, 5 to Arizona, 4 to Seattle, 4 to Columbus, 6 to Vancouver, and 5 to Buffalo. Now, these aren't the league's top scoring teams. So they're really struggling defensively, even though the car coming off that shutout against Dallas. So it's a situation for me where I think I'm going to take a look at Carolina goals scored in this one, and I expect that to go over. It's a little early in the morning. I don't know if we have those numbers yet, but that's something I'm looking at. I think Carolina's going to have a really nice offensive game. Talked about that a little bit yesterday in that Tampa Bay game, and they did get there. It was over, I believe, 3.5, and they scored 4. So that's something else we're going to look at again today. But can't trust this Toronto defense and the goaltending right now. They're just giving up too many goals. Like Carolina, been priced out of it, but I think the value would be on Carolina goals in the game over the total.
All right, Brian Leonard, WagerTalk.com. Brian, I'm going to switch gears here really quickly before we get to the third game. Obviously, March Madness coming up. What's going on with you? Because you usually you're great at college basketball. What do you have up today?
Yeah, I had that easy lock of the year winner yesterday on Notre Dame. I did find it funny that the game had to go to overtime before they get to victory, and it happened to be right after midnight when it was St. Patrick's Day. So a nice situation for the Irish. We obviously, and whoever side you had in that game was a lucky victory, but that puts us at 19-10 on these tournament games. And I've got a real nice card. I got 4 today and 5 tomorrow. They're up right now, and I also have 3 hockey, as I mentioned earlier. None of the games we're speaking of. But, yeah, real excited. Nothing in the spring training game that I mentioned earlier, but I will say it's funny because I'm looking at the WagerTalk live odds screen right here, and it's talking about what all the other sports going on, and they have baseball, and it says spring training, Minnesota, Boston at unknown, Arizona, Colorado at unknown. They don't even care. They don't even care where the game is being played. It's spring training baseball. They're just glad to get something up there. I just thought that was funny. But obviously we know where they're going to be playing. But really excited about baseball. Really excited about the tournament. I'm bouncing off the walls right now. Get to see my friends from out of town. So it's a big day for me. I think we got a big day for clients also. So if you're looking to pick up today's card and tomorrow's card, you can get those right up now at WagerTalk.com.
All right, sorry guys. Westgate, their Wi-Fi completely tossed me out the window there. I had to get back on. So thank God that Bryan, you recovered there and got me in. Yeah, I was mentioning. I just wanted to know that everyone know. Obviously, March Madness kicks off, and you're a big college guy, and I just wanted you to get your card out to everyone. And let everyone know what is going on over at WagerTalk. All right, let's hit that third game. Pittsburgh Penguins, St. Louis Blues. These are two teams. Bryan, I'll be honest with you. These are two teams that I really don't want to watch, but they're two very good teams as well too. I just don't like the style of hockey they play. It's the way I am. It's St. Louis minus 105, Pittsburgh 115, a line that is similar to the Leafs line, and the total is at 6. It is literally almost a mirror image of the game that we discussed as far as lines go in the previous game. Blues at home, same thing. This team 2-0-1 their last 3 games. They come off a loss to Winnipeg in OT. One that was a little unexpected, I have to think. A big win.
Looks like we lost Carmine again. He said he didn't want to talk too much on the show because he was a little hungover. Well, he got his wish. I think the gods were talking. The gods of the Wi-Fi are listening to Carmine. But yeah, this is a game for myself that I do prefer the Pittsburgh side. But once again, I think we're being priced out of it here. Pittsburgh coming off of a loss to Nashville on the road last time out, but they've been playing very good hockey as of late. St. Louis team that does have 3 days off before they play Pittsburgh, so that's a little bit of an advantage. And as was mentioned, they did lose last time out to Winnipeg, so that game went to overtime. But the advantage for St. Louis is the schedule. The advantage for Pittsburgh is I just think they're a better team. If you take a look at the evolving hockey stats, goals plus or minus per 60, we see the Penguins at plus 0.35 on the season. We see the Blues 0.57, which is somewhat of a surprise. But when you take a look at the expected goals, the Penguins are up 0.42, and the Blues are down 0.21. So the Blues have been a very lucky team. And I don't want to play on lucky teams in this price range. I think Pittsburgh's the better team. I like the Pittsburgh side. Unfortunately, it's not at a line I'm looking to play on right now. We're looking at minus 115s to 117s out there. If it gets down to 110 to pick them, I think Pittsburgh will be on my card. But other than that, I don't think I'm going to be involved in this one.
All right, I am hotspotting off of my phone because the Westgate Wi-Fi keeps literally crashing. Every time I look up at the production screen, I look like I've had 18 beers and my face is frozen. And it's so yeah. The production crew is telling me in my ear I have had 8. No, I haven't. But with that said, I'm looking at this game, Bryan. I see some goals early on, so. Well, I'm not going to take a side, much like the Toronto game. And that Toronto game, I'm looking at the full game total. I'm looking at the first period total in this one, kind of like the Calgary game yesterday. I see some goals in it. The first period total is 1.5, over 1.5, minus 145. A little more juice than I would normally play with a first period total, but I see some goals in this one. So for me, it is Pittsburgh and St. Louis over the first period total of 1.5 minus 145 as the play. Okay, Bryan, let's get to the last game on the card before the Wi-Fi completely throws me out of here. It's the Florida Panthers and the Vegas Golden Knights. We're going to this game tonight. There's going to be a bunch of us. We're gonna post some pictures. I'm gonna love this game. Minus 185 for Florida. plus 155 for the Vegas Golden Knights at home. That is a big dog for the Knights at home, Brian. You know it. You're a season ticket holder. The total is 6.5. You know, I always advocate, or one of my angles is always fade a team returning home off a long road trip of 4 games or more. The Vegas Golden Knights are coming home off a 5-game road trip where they went 0-5, and against teams that they should have beaten. Bry, I'm looking for some goals tonight. I wish the total was at 6. If the total was at 6, I would be all over this game. I'm going to find another way of betting this total. Maybe an alternate line, just get it down to 6 and pay a little bit more juice on this one. But for me, it's Panthers. I just think the Knights are they're just not playing well right now. This team is in, I don't want to call it turmoil, Brian, but you return home off a road trip. You're struggling to make the playoffs, and everyone around you is winning games, and you're playing the Florida Panthers. It's usually not a good spot, but at plus 155, is that enough to entice you to take the Knights at home off the road trip?
It was interesting because I'd had this game circled, and I wanted to see what kind of line they were going to come out. And the overnight line was Florida minus 130. And I said, that seems a little fair. I said, I could see maybe 150. Well, now everybody has been buying into the anti-hype of the Vegas Golden Knights. We're seeing 178, 180, 185s out there with Florida. I guess I can't blame them for playing Florida. That's a team playing hot. If you're one of those guys that wants to play on the team on a hot streak, going against a team on a losing streak, this is your game. And I can't blame you for wanting to play Florida here. It's just gotten out of any type of range where I think you're getting any value here. Florida's actually playing their third game in 5 days. They play again tomorrow on the road in Anaheim. So I can see Florida coming into this game a little bit overrated, a little bit happy about themselves. They've only lost 1 game all month. And that was on the 13th in LA against the Kings, and that was in a shootout. So they're playing very well. They've got a big lead in the division. Like I said, third game in 5 days, and they got to play again tomorrow. And then after that, they get 4 days off, and then they got 2 more on the road. So they're away from home for a while here. And you got the Knights, and I've been very critical of the Knights. I'm even though that's the team I root for. Anybody who bets for a living, really bets for a living, cannot put themselves in the position of being a fan. You could be a fan when it doesn't come to your money. When it comes to your money, you have to look at every game the same way. And that's the way I take a look at this Vegas team. No, they're not playing well. They're playing actually really bad right now. In fact, to tell you how bad they're playing, there's so many tickets here at the Knights game tonight. Nobody wants to go. I'm seeing $35 tickets out there with the best team in hockey, one of the 2 best teams in hockey coming to town. Everybody wants to watch the basketball today. So we might be one of the few people still at the game when everybody will be outside watching the games. But it's a situation for me. The Knights are playing terrible, but take a look at this schedule they've gone through. It's the 17th day of the month, and this will be the 10th game Vegas has played in the month of March. They get tomorrow off, then they've got to play the Kings. Get another day off, then they play at Minnesota, at Winnipeg, and then they come home 2 days later and play Nashville again. So this is a brutal schedule Vegas is going through. Right now, they're out of the playoff race. They're behind now for the last playoff spot. Any Vegas Knights fan that you talk to in town is like besides themselves because they've all been spoiled ever since the Knights have come. They've won the entire time, but they look terrible right now. And I think this, normally you mentioned it, the coming home off of a road trip, you don't want to play that home team. You're coming off of a road trip and you go 0-5, and I believe other than the Pittsburgh game, they may have been favored at least at one point on the card the entire time. So not only 0-5, they're losing as favorites. They come home, they're playing Florida. 2 days later, they play the Kings. They have got to come out and play this game tonight because the fans are giving up on them. It's to the point, we were talking about this the other night. We were out. I told Marco, I said, are we better off the Knights don't make the playoffs so we don't have to buy the playoff tickets? I mean, it's gotten to that point because I just don't think they're going to be good enough. Bringing these guys back at the end of the season, they'll be able to make the same playoff run as they had in the past. So this is a huge game for Vegas here. I'm going to hit on this as my best bet, but I'm just going to say, with the money that's come in on Florida here, it's reached that point anymore. There's no value. There is no more value on Florida. If you're looking to play Florida, the ship has sailed on this one. But I'll get back to this with my best bet, and we'll touch on it a little bit more.
Yeah, listen, come the end of the
And it looks like we may be going to my best bet sooner. You know, why does this never happen when I'm on the show at Prez? Last thing I want to do is be talking to Prez, unless he goes. Carmine, give Prez your Wi-Fi next time he's in town, will you?
Yeah, it's absolutely brutal, so I apologize. But Bryan, I was about to say, by the time the end of the night comes tonight, the Vegas Golden Knights could actually fall out of that final playoff spot, with the teams that are a point behind them also in action tonight. So that price is too high for me on Florida. I like Florida. That price is too high for me. But you can actually take Florida if you want to take Florida. Take Florida. And part of the Oilers, I believe, should beat the Buffalo Sabres tonight. Am I frozen?
All right. Well, we've lost him again. Why don't we go to my best bet here, and then when Carmine is completely back, we'll do that. But let's take a look at the best bet, and I'm going to go back to the game we just spoke about, the game we'll be going to tonight, the Florida and the Golden Knights game. Golden Knights right now are down not only their lead goalie, but the other guys are getting a lot of action lately, and they're down some of their best offensive players. That said, the importance of this game for Vegas is very important for Vegas to come out early in this game and show that they can compete with Florida. They've been a team that has been trying to match the opposition from a scoring standpoint, and it's just not working. They haven't had a lot of practices. I got to give them that, and that's one of the reasons that they're struggling right now. But they've got to come into this game against Florida knowing they cannot try to match Florida in scoring. You've got your backup goalie is your starter now. You've got your rookie coming from the Silver Knights is also getting starts, and neither one of them have looked good at all lately. This has got to be a game where Vegas is just going to try to wear out the opposition, and it's a situation where I think they go into a defensive mode here. They cannot try to outscore Florida. If they do, this game if they play that way, this game's going to fly over the total. I don't think it's going to be that way. I'm going to play Vegas in the first period at plus 135. They have to get out to a lead in this game. If they come out and struggle, they could get blown out again, just like they did against Winnipeg last time out. Very important game for Vegas, and as I said, Florida may just take advantage of this and think, hey, it's Vegas time. It's the final or the NCAA tournament time. They may be worried about more things than beating the Vegas Knights tonight. But I don't want Vegas in the entire game. I want them in the first period. I'll take the less money to get the team in a shorter period. Give me Vegas plus 135 in the first period.
All right, Bryan, Leonard, I am back. Good luck with that play. Guys, for my best bet, I'm going to go back to the Toronto Maple Leaf game that we discussed earlier. That total is going to make my card tonight, but much like yesterday, where the Calgary total made my card, the show best bet was the first period over. I'm going to do the exact same thing here in this Canes Leafs game. I'm going to go over 1.5 in the first period of this game. The juice on that one is minus 145. I'm expecting goals in this one. Calgary's second game. He played that first game on Tuesday for the Leafs, where they beat Dallas 4-0. But I expect some goals in this one, in the full game and in the first period right out of the gate. So I'm going to take over 1.5 minus 145 as my show best bet. Bryan has Vegas first period plus 135. Bryan, before we close out the show, until next week, I will do the 6 and 60 for you guys tomorrow. What's going on up at WagerTalk?
As I mentioned, today I've got 3 hockey plays that we didn't discuss on today's card, and I do apologize for the sun coming in. Oh well. Anyway, This has been one of those shows. What the hell are you going to do, you know? Yeah, I've got 4 plays in college basketball today, all the big dance, 5 plays tomorrow. Get them all right now. Full slate of action, and looking for a full day sitting in front of the couch, on the couch, and watching these games.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. It's a ton of action. Wi-Fi was a little sketchy. It's likely because there are so many people now in town and at the Westgate that it is mushing this Wi-Fi. Guys, I appreciate you all tuning in. Hit that like button. It was a sketchy show with the Wi-Fi, so I apologize for on Monday. I will do the 60, and I'll have a contest up in the next hour on Twitter, on the Puck Time Twitter account, where we're going to give some stuff away. And
Yes, there will be baseball. After a 99-day lockout, we now have a complete 162-game schedule starting with opening day on April 7th. To celebrate the return of baseball, we want to do a wow promotion, so here we go. The first 50 customers will get the full season of MLB, including the playoffs, for just over $3 per day. How much of a wow is this? MLB through the All-Star break is priced at $7.95, and through the World Series is priced at $1,095. But the first 50 customers can get MLB through the World Series for $6.99. No coupon is needed, and this comes out to just over $3 per day. Once we hit 50 redemptions, the super early bird discount will come down, and the lowest possible price to lock in baseball will no longer be available. So act fast before you get shut out on our biggest price drop ever.